welcome to the SEO Science Show. I am your host, Josh Baczynski. Today we're talking about SEO for 2022. It is Halloween 2021, but that means in SEO time that SEO is dead. SEO for 2021 is dead. It is time to move to SEO 2022. And you might be wondering, how can Josh know what it is already? Because I know artificial intelligence. And that is the name of the game for SEO. It is artificial intelligence. So if you're not paying attention to artificial intelligence, then you're in some trouble, my friend. So you need to pay more attention to artificial intelligence. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about how Google is using artificial intelligence. I'm going to be talking about how what kind of machine learning they're doing, what kind of neural networks they're using. I'm going to talk about how you can use that for your SEO. And stuff you need to do. I am the founder of SEO University, so that's where all this information is coming from. And this is an SEO University video where I presume you're going to be joining SEO University. And so I'm going to be talking about how in SEO University we use this tactic and we use that tactic. And so I'll be talking about SEO University a bit. But mostly it's going to be about artificial intelligence and how you can use it to rank in 2022. All of the machine learning models and AI models that Google are doing, called MUM and Smith, Bert, Smith, and MUM are the acronyms. And those are pretty much all set, and they're just going to be improving upon those, so I can make some very good, solid predictions for SEO for 2022 and how you can use it to rank, and you will use it to rank, especially when you join SEO University, or just watch this video and pay really close attention to what I say and then go do some research on AI. You're going to have to do research on AI if you want to be an SEO in 2022. There's just no other way around it. I'm sorry, it's just not at all about tweaking your title tags. It is so much more complex than that these days, but don't feel down about that. Don't get intimidated by that at all. In a way, it's easier. In fact, we're ranking like we've never ranked before because we've adopted AI early on and we understand how AI works. So you don't have to guess what the Google engineers are doing anymore. Now you have to guess what their AI is thinking. And their AI is only as smart about as a 10-year-old. So can you outsmart a 10-year-old? If you can outsmart a 10-year-old, if you can get on the level of a 10-year-old, then you can rank in Google. But it's a very capricious 10-year-old. It's like a very clever 10-year-old that has traps laid everywhere for you. So if you want to follow these traps, Google's also machine learning penalties and machine learning black hat SEO. So if you're using the tactics of yesteryear, you're definitely in some trouble. They've machine learned to recognize all of that. So I'll be talking about that in a little bit. And finally, I've got a special little goodie for you in this broadcast. I have a secret hack that I'll release at the end, and I'll show you some proof of how it works. Would you like to be 5 to 10 spots higher in 2 hours? I can do it. I have a secret hack where a secret thing I do. I don't want to call it a hack because it sounds like it's doing something illegal. I'm not. I have a secret SEO thing I can do that can boost you 5 to 10 spots in just 2 hours. I'll show you the proof at the end of this video. And so it's cheaper for my students in SEO University. So if you're thinking of learning SEO for 2022, you should join SEO University, and you should see all the different methods we have to rank you in different ways. There's 10 or 12 different main algorithms we manipulate. If you're like, how could there be 10 or 12 different ones? Well, it's not just content and links anymore, folks. There's different ranking factors. There's a ton of ranking factors and different things you need to manipulate because you need to join SEO University to find out what that stuff is. But I will also be offering this secret hack to people who don't want to join SEO University. That's fine, of course. You don't have to join. I do recommend you join sooner rather than later because I will close the group at some point. But for those people who just want to try the secret hack out, I can also give you that information as well. So email me at joshbaczynski@gmail.com. Google me, Josh Baczynski, Bachynski. Google knows who I am. They know my email. Email me at joshbaczynski@gmail.com. It's also in the description below. Okay, so let's start looking here. If you have any questions as I go along, please, by all means, I'm doing this at a weird time on a Saturday. So go ahead and chat in the chat if you have any questions at all. So it's all AI all the time. So Google is machine learning links. Google is machine learning text. Google is machine learning images. Google is machine learning schema. Google is machine learning HTML. Google is machine learning everything they can possibly learn about a web page and what makes it better than some other web page for a given query. The EMQ is dead. The EMQ is to stand for exact match query. It's pretty much dead. Partial match query, completely dead. It's not about specificity anymore. It's not a control F and you do a search in Word and you find those words. That used to be how Google's search engine worked completely. It is not that way anymore. In 2022, it is an intelligent being you're asking a question to, and it will think about it, what that means, what you asked it, and it'll tell you what it thinks you really want. So that things, not strings methodology Google's been using forever is completely now 100% the way they do it. Strings is like 0%, 0.1% the way they do it. So if you still think you need to put your keywords in this place or that place, watch out. Google has traps to trap you for trying to do aggressive SEO. You can't, of course, listen to a single thing Google says. You can't listen to John Mueller. He hasn't been a webmaster trends analyst for years. He's outside of the Google engineering team. He doesn't even know how it works. Another Google employee leaked that. Martin Split or Shift or Sprich or whatever his name is. He leaked that John Mueller and Gary Illyes have no idea actually how it's working these days. The engineers are a closed team in Google. They do not communicate to anyone else how it works for the simple reasons is for security. They don't want that to get out. They don't want anyone to even accidentally say something, right? As good as John Mueller and Gary Illyes are at keeping their mouths shut, they're not that good. They've let a lot of stuff leak over the years and they've gotten in trouble for it. So they don't have the knowledge anymore. They're just told what they need to know to talk to people. As public relations individuals. That's all they do. They're public relations individuals. You cannot listen to Gary Illyes or any Google employees. You cannot listen to anything they say. All they do is lie. All they do is protect their algorithm. Because their artificial intelligence now is running the show. Artificial intelligence, MUM. MUM knows best, right? They chose that acronym for a reason. MUM knows best, knows better than humans, knows better than them. It is choosing the ranking factors at random. Not at random, based on statistics. And it's choosing, so right, your ranking factors may not be someone else's ranking factors, right? So how can you read a blog and know what the ranking factors are? There's no such thing as objective ranking factors. All the ranking factors are relative to a particular niche or pages or something like that. In SEO University, we know exactly what it is, and I can teach you exactly what it is. But I just want to let you know now not to read any of the blogs that are out there talking about doing this or that. It is all utter crap. So sadly, this has had an effect in 2021, and we're going to see this trend continue in 2022, where the people on YouTubes like this and making blogs like this, if they're not talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and they don't understand how that works, and they're not talking to you on that level about that kind of stuff, you can completely ignore it. There is no general SEO tips anymore. That doesn't exist because they don't care about keywords anymore. So there can't be any general SEO suggestions. Links are completely and totally dead. Don't buy them. Don't buy them. You're going to hurt yourself and waste money for sure. I'm here to tell you, as a public service announcement to you, to help you and save you from wasting money and time, do not buy any links. You will hurt your rankings for sure. The AI is smarter than you. Don't mention about buying links in your email. Don't talk about guest blog posting in your email. Don't talk about article posting. All that stuff is bad. Do not do it. Stay away from anything like that. Stay away from any of the SEO that anyone else is doing. Google is aware of all those things. As soon as it becomes popular enough to make a public program, Google is all over it, right? Google has spies. That's what John Mueller and another thing that John Mueller and Gary Illyes do is they go on forums and they talk with people and they see what people are doing. They even watch my video. They've even watched my video, at least they have in the past. And I said a colorful comment about John Mueller and he didn't like it. And so I'm still blocked on Twitter. I can't email him anymore. I can't talk to him. So Google does that, guys. And the AI is watching everything. So you should only be a white hat SEO. You should only be a white hat SEO AI. I'm one of the Google pure. It's literally listening to what I'm saying right now. That's exactly what MUM does. Is it reads videos and reads images and reads text and then decides what the best content source is for any particular given query that they're going to make. And how they're going to extend their search product into 2022 with you take a picture of it and it'll use that as a search, and they convert that into kind of entities, not keywords, entities. Here's another thing that the rest of the SEO community is completely wrong about. They heard the word entities 10 years ago, And they thought that meant proper nouns. They thought that meant like a person, a place, or a thing, a business. They think entity SEO is business SEO, and they link that with location, they link that with GMBs, they link that with local SEO completely incorrectly. They just don't understand the artificial intelligence. The word entity in natural language processing, NLP for short, means any concept, any concept that they can extract, a grammatical concept, a grammatical entity that they can extract from a sentence, right? So that's far more than just businesses or brands. That includes concepts like dancing. That includes concepts like painting, like canoe, water, reflection in water. It's all these ideas, things, not strings, all the thingness, all the things, right? Including concepts and information, Plato's realm of the forms, right? All that stuff, and then hard stuff you can deal with and knock on all the wood stuff, right? So all the material stuff, the stuff. So you have to understand entities, right? You have to understand how machine learning can process entities, extract entities from pictures, images, videos, podcasts, sounds, social media entities in the reality of social media, page entities, web page entities in the reality of a web page, right? You have to think of intelligences looking at the reality that they can see. Now, of course, Mum doesn't see anything. They didn't give it eyes, and it doesn't view a video. It processes it, but it sees math, and the math it sees is ties directly to the reality of what we process. So you've got to think of it on that level and try to really understand and wrap your head around how machine learning and artificial intelligence is being processed through neural networks and through other regressive mathematical equations, et cetera, yada, blah, 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 to understand entities and extract understanding of context out of various media forms, right? So this is very important for SEO in 2022. Now, you might be like, okay, Josh, well, then great. I'll just plug into the free Google NLP demo, and I'll also use the Google Vision AI image recognition demo, and that'll just tell me how to do SEO, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. First off, the Google NLP demo is like 10 years old. It's not Smith. It's not the current transformer natural language processing power that they currently have. 2, do you think Google would ever give that to you for free if you could use it for SEO? You're a very trusting fool. No, it's not. I've tested it extensively, because trust me, if we could use it at SEO University, we would be. But it does not give you any heads up. It might work as a pedagogical tool for you to wrap your head around what an entity is, because they list them. They're like, okay, put in a paragraph. You can put it in there, and they list the entities, and they look at it, and they're like, okay, great, fine. Just go on Google and look for the Google NLP demo. But do not think that tells you anything. They put red herrings at the top of that on purpose. I've tested it. I've tested it in single variable experimental tests where if, they put up something at the bottom like Josh's Boutique for flowers, and they put that right at the top, and you think, oh, Josh's Boutique, that must be an entity in the wrong Geseo sense of the word. Oh, then I put Josh's Boutique all over my page, even though I have nothing to do with Josh. And you think that's going to rank you. No, it's not. They do not have any special SEO tool for you. Google has long since abandoned SEOs, and now they're trying to crush and kill SEOs. The industry is getting weaker and weaker every year. I have the stats to prove this. So if you're getting to SEO now, it's an interesting field, don't get me wrong, and don't listen to us old timers who talk about the good old days. I've been doing SEO since before Google was around, professionally since 2010, and then just in my capacities as a web developer before that, or I was the VP of a software company. I was doing the marketing before that as well there, and I was also the director of an IT program at University of Winnipeg way back around Y2K, and I was doing SEO as part of my marketing duties there. But I've been doing it professionally for the last 11 years, focused on it solely. And it used to be very much easier to rank when it was just specificity. Just like if you wanted to rank for red flowers, you put red flowers all over your page, and the page that said the most red flowers did rank highest. That's just the way it was. It is not that way anymore. Do not keyword stuff EMQs or PMQs anymore. Do not do that. Google has AI specifically like Agent Smith in the Matrix looking for you doing that, and they will notice you and it will get you. So don't do that. So you could use the Google NLP demo if you want to understand how entities work, but remember, it is all relative to the text you paste in to the Google NLP demo. So if you paste your page into the Google NLP demo, it'll tell you that this word and that word are highly salient to this, highly salient, but that doesn't mean they're ranking words. That means they're salient to the text you pasted in. You don't know what the ranking words are yet, right? So and even if you take your competitors who are the number one and paste them in there and you think that's telling you something, it's not. There's tons of red herrings and problems in there, and it's not a scientific process, and it will crush you and kill you eventually. Statistically, if you do that on 10 pages, you will kill 2 of them roughly. So that's not a viable means of moving forward, considering also how difficult it is to get pages indexed these days. And that's just one way you can fail. If you don't understand artificial intelligence, there's a million ways you can fail doing this, right? So Google is, let me see if there's any questions here. Brian says, I'd make the argument that it may be easier to do SEO moving forward if you have the technical SEO and web dev skills with core marketing principles than it was in the past when SEO was easier. I see what you're saying there, Bryson. I would yes, those are good skills to have for sure, but SEO is still a talent unto itself. SEO is still a thing you need to learn and do, and now it's just, we're not dancing with imaginary Google engineers anymore, if I could use that metaphor. Now SEOs are dancing with the AIs, various multiple AIs. So we are the agents in the matrix battling we are the rebels in the matrix battling the agents. Like, that's more of how you can think of it. And so if you don't know those agents, those AIs, and how they work really, really well, and you don't have a testing group like SEO University, when you join SEO University, you'll be part of a testing group that has years and years of testing under our belt and has the proven methods for ranking. If you don't believe me, I'll show you some at the end of this video. You can also go to bit.ly/SEO proof to look at the proof, the evidence. bit.ly/SEO proof, bit.ly/SEO proof, PROOF, showing every month. Look at it month to month for years going back. Every month we have wins, and we're showing our wins from our experiments and from our actual client sites and our sites that we rank ourselves, of how our science is proving that it works and proving that we know what the ranking factors are. We've isolated them scientifically, and we can successfully continue to do so, even and especially in artificial intelligence, because that is our forte of what it is we do. I work in artificial intelligence as well. It's what I do. I own an artificial intelligence company. I'm the CEO of an artificial intelligence company. I'm part owner. I also have an artificial intelligence book I'm writing for Wiley Publishers. Ever heard of Wiley Publishers? I'm writing a book about artificial intelligence for them right now as well. And I'm building a self-aware artificial intelligence on the side, as well as doing all this SEO stuff and testing. So, I don't have a lot to do. This is what I do. I live in a hotel right now because I sold my house, although I'm moving into my house in December, so I will be having a Merry Christmas there. Okay. So, and then Brian says, weeds out all other content. I'm not sure which comment of mine you're referring there to, Bryson. Let me know. Sam says, Google sites any good for SEO? The answer is no. Of course not. No. Don't listen to anything anyone is saying publicly, except for my things of what not to do. That's safe to listen to because you're not going to do it. It's not safe to listen to anything what people are saying publicly, and that's something people have talked about a lot. So don't go do it. Don't think like I don't want to use an extreme example like this, but it's like SEO is like cancer. Sorry for the extreme example, but it is this serious. SEO is like cancer, and you're like, maybe if I take this herbal pill, it'll fix it? No. You need to go to a doctor, and you need to get real stuff going on here. Do not listen to those other idiots out there who have a blog. No, Google sites, no, not even close. And again, it's wrong because other people are doing it. It's wrong because it's not science. It's wrong because it's not artificial intelligence or has anything to do with that. It's also wrong because you're relying on Google now, and you think Google's going to give you something that's going to rank you. No, not even close. So So again, I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, no, that's the wrongest thing ever. I'm worried I'm not communicating clearly how bad that is. That's bad. So no, not even close. Join SEO University. You'll find out how it actually ranks. Join SEO University. You're going to find out actually in 2002, for 2002 SEO, you're going to find out what actually to do. I have a full SEO course of hundreds of hours of course material and content with proven boosting techniques. Proven. Proof. I can prove it to you. I will prove it to you when you join SEO University, and I can show you the proof that I have the proof, the proof of the result to our client sites in bit.ly/SEO proof. That's the other thing you need to do for SEO for 2022. Don't believe anyone who doesn't have proof. If they can't give you some proof, however anecdotal, that it works, I mean, everyone has their paywall, fine. That's what I do for a living, is I do this research, and then people pay me for it. That's what I do for a living. It's worth buying. It's worth paying for. It's only $300 a month, and I have a special discount for you, actually, if you mention this video. If you say yes in an email, email me the word yes in the subject line at joshpashinsky@gmail.com, and I can give you a special discount because I know you're one of my listeners. Again, email yes in the subject line to joshpashinsky@gmail.com for a special discount for when you join SEO University. But as I said, when you join the SEO University, I have scientific proof for everything that I'm doing. Do not listen to people who don't have it. Don't listen to people who are like, oh, this is great, blah, 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 blah. Can you prove that it works? No. They can't show you how they did a single variable experiment to prove how it works. Well, then stop listening to them. Right? Like, why are you risking your business? Why are you risking your job? Why are you risking your livelihood on cowboy Yahoo idiots? That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, obviously. So don't, right? Don't. Come try SEO University. Try it for a month. See if I actually have everything I say I do. I do. Join my Discord group and say, is Josh telling the truth on everything he says? And you will get a resounding response of students going, yes. Now go study. Leave me alone. I'm ranking. Yes. Like, now watch the courses. Now go read the course material. Like, is what they'll tell you, right? Because they're all serious SEOs who are not going to take any crap, and they're busy ranking, right? So, and my retention rate is very good. I have students who've been with me for years and years and years. So yeah. So you gotta know for SEO for 2002, you've gotta know machine learning. You have to understand machine learning, and you gotta imagine, what could they machine learn for links? What would they machine learn for good links, if such a thing still exists? Or what would they machine learn for bad links? What did they do with that disavow file and all that data? I wonder, what could they machine learn for text? What kind of things could they pull out for text and how that works? Let your curiosity start thinking, how does that work? What kind of entities are they pulling out there? What actually helps boost and rank pages? They're still on page SEO. It's one of our major bulwarks. What could they machine learn for images? Go look at Google Vision AI to get a sense of what they're seeing in images, and you will be amazed at what they see. And there are some important differences there. Not all of them are important, but some of them are important differences there. We have a whole full experiment of what to do for images as well, more than you need to know. And what can they do for pages? Think of how they would machine learn pages. Think what they would be doing there to rank pages higher. And there are huge, so this is a bit of bad news, there are huge blockades for people who are not in that group. If you don't have the right stuff, and when you join SEO University, I'll prove to you what the right stuff is. It is night and day difference. You cannot rank, or you can rank, right? It separates the real contenders and from the millions of other pages Google will never consider to rank. It is not an even playing field. It's not. AI has made it a not even playing field. So for SEO for 2022, when you join SEO University, I will show you how to get in that small select group, how to get into the cool club, so to speak, that the AI is looking for. Mom's very selective. She's looking only for certain pages. They got to look good to her in certain special ways, and you will not believe what it is. Remember, AI can see everything. Everything. So it's not, and they're feeding it all the data, including your server statistics, your server configurations. Are you on an Apache server? Are you on information systems? Are you using PHP, Python, Perl? What are you, JavaScript? Are you jQuery? What are you using? What is the full gamut of things they can see? Way beyond what humans would consider. You would be amazed. You will be amazed at the different parameters and the different things they look at and the different ways they look at common things that we all look at. And that's how you get in the cool club that they're going to rank. I can't remember which side. This is the cool club over here. That's how you get into the cool club that's going to rank. So you got to consider all that artificial intelligence for SEO for 2022. And when you join SEO University, that's how you're going to find out what it is you need to do, what these things are here. Okay. So let me go back here. Miko says, what it sounds like Bryson is saying is that a person like me who doesn't have any web dev skills and just relied on WordPress themes would have a hard time optimizing their site in 2022. Yes and no. So that's a good point. That's a good question there. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, you're going to have a harder time, but my group will help you, right? When you join SEO University, there's dozens of other students like you who don't know how to do web development. And they're just using WordPress and they're just using common themes and stuff like that. And that will kill your SEO. You can't rank like that. You do need to optimize them. You do need to change them. You do need to tweak them. But you don't have to be a web developer to do that. So join SEO University. And then once you've learned the general basic course material, we have kind of like a basic curriculum. Once you've gone through the basic curriculum, you've done all the basics and followed what we call our formula or process that has proven, scientifically proven steps to rank you that change every month as I'm doing more experiments. So they're all up to date. They're completely up to date for every month in 2022. When you join, they will be completely up to date. Then go to those special channels in Discord and say, hey, I'm using WordPress. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I don't know this part. And you can read the knowledge base that's already there. Our Discord is our knowledge base. You just do searches in Discord and you'll find all the information you want, going all the way back for years. And the search system in Discord is quite good. It's fuzzy search. It's also AI-based search. So it's not just keyword-based. So it'll bring up all the information you need. And if you can't find it, you just say, hey, guys, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't know how to do it. And people will respond. So you've got people, when you join SEO University, you're going to find those people in there who will help you out. But you definitely need people to help you out. You cannot rank a WordPress site just out of the box. Not easily anyway. Not for any money queries. You can rank for Grandma's cookies. That probably has money behind it. Bad example. You can rank for, was Conan a better character than Kull the Conqueror? You could rank for esoteric questions about Pulp Fiction written by Robert E. Howard in the 30s that no one gives a shit about in WordPress. Sure, out of the box without any tweaking. Maybe spot 4 or 5. I bet you there's already some pretty good pages about it. Actually, it's probably still a bad example. So Chase is here. Hey there, Chase. How you doing? Chase says, what's up, SEO pros? What's up is artificial intelligence, my friend, and SEO for 2022. I've already forgotten about 2021. It's 2022 in my head. Sam asks a great question. Twitter and LinkedIn link, any help for ranking? Yes and no. There's a special way you need to do it, and I wish I could just tell you, and say it, but I can't. I have to save that for my students. So join SEO University, and yes, there is a major way to use that for ranking, like 3 major ways to use that for ranking. When you join SEO University, you're going to be so amazed and so happy you found that information. Kimberly says, so you think the AI reads your search queries for terms? Yes, it certainly does. So typing things such as gas, scrape box could have negative effects? Yes, Kimberly, for sure. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but there's patents out to this effect. I don't know if you ever noticed, but your spam mail will change. Your Google ads will change. That means they're definitely listening to it. And definitely in my experiments, I can't prove a direct causal link because it's a few steps removed, but things have not gone well when I talked about buying links in Gmail. So I don't recommend you do. So I'm happy to give that for free. Don't do those things. I'm happy to give anything for free out that's going to hurt you. Don't buy links at all. Especially don't buy, say you're going to do it on Gmail or any system that goes through Google's internet. Google owns huge parts of the internet, remember. Don't do it in a Chrome browser. They track every single keystroke in Chrome. Oh, didn't know that, did you? Every version of Chromium, too. Don't think that they can't track you online everywhere you go, and what you do, they can. Don't think that proxies help by any stretch of the imagination. They don't. Yeah, I could go on. Yeah, no, don't. And if you're going to buy links, don't buy a link that's the same color as the background or even close. That will definitely demote you. And don't buy comment links, and don't let anyone 301 comment links to your site. That could hurt you depending on how spammy and crappy Google already thinks you are. Word Rubble, which I wonder if that's his birth name. Probably not. Mr. Rubble says, should we assume that Google is primarily looking for the most relevant and highest quality content? That would be good news for writers of serious content. No, it's not. It's what the AI thinks. It's what MUM thinks. It's what the artificial intelligence thinks based on the data it can get is the highest quality content. What else did you say there? Most relevant and highest quality content. That is not at all what you might think it is, my friend. Probably not. Probably not. Otherwise, you'd be ranking number one. So if you're ranking number one for everything, then yeah, congratulations. You have magically tuned into what the AI thinks for right now. We'll see if that continues on over year after year. I probably won't. No, SEO is, you can't just ignore SEO. You can't just let Jesus take the wheel, so to speak, right? Apologies to anyone who doesn't like the reference for whatever reason. You can't let Google take the wheel and trust that the Google AI is going to magically reward you for your hard work. Hard work does not pay off. Smart work pays off. Hard work does not pay off. You need smart work to open up the valve to get into the cool club. Then hard work pays off. Then diligence pays off. So everyone knows here, you can't be a millionaire just from hard work. You need smart work too. And so you can't rank in Google just from hard work. You can't. You can't rank in Google just from hoping you'll rank. You can't rank in Google from being one of the faithful, one of the Google faithful. You just can't. Google's lying to you. They don't care. I'm not lying to you. I'm not getting any money for telling you this. This is for your own benefit. Get into a science group or stop. It's what you got to do. It's just what you got to do. Don't like me? Fine. I don't like me sometimes. My wife doesn't like me sometimes. Ha, ba-bum-bum. My students don't like me sometimes because I'm like, this is how it works. Blah, 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 blah. Too complicated, Josh. Dumb it down. No, I can't dumb it down. This is how it works. Blah, 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 blah. They get angry at me too. Then I try and I finally make them understand after a while. But don't think it's going to be as easy as put your link here and it'll magically work. Doop. Those days are long over. I'm sorry. But you can get it to work. If you join SEO University, you will see the ways you can get it to work. And you will understand, to answer this question, you'll understand how the AI thinks of high quality content, the oft used euphemism, and you will understand how they understand most relevant. Remember, they think they're smarter than you, the user, the searcher, and the content creator. They think that they are smarter than you. When you search for red flowers, they're going to say, oh, what you really want is flowers, not the red ones. The red ones are passé. What you really want is flowers. And you get flowers. Blah. And you'll be like, WTF, Google? I searched for red flowers and you're giving me flowers. Okay. And then if too many people are going WTF, then they'll adjust it in different ways, various ways, and not how you think. Not how you think. They're sneaky. Because they know that people like me are watching them like a hawk. So they got to be sneaky. So no, you cannot assume that if you just make high quality content that is most relevant that you will rank. I'm sorry, you won't. Not effectively, not statistically, not over time. SEO for 2022, you have to do some SEO, right? SEO is not SEO is not praying. It's not hoping, it's not wishing. SEO is science. It's studying. It's testing in single variable environments and joining a group that's already done that. You can't reverse engineer what I've done from the ground up. You cannot do it yourself. You cannot do it yourself. Not that you're not smarter than me. You're probably smarter than me. All you guys out there are probably smarter than me, but you're not as annoyingly diligent as I am on a particular philosophy of science. And that's the science, that particular philosophy of science, the empirical method that I've studied for the history of it for over 3,000 years in my MA and I'm in my second year of my PhD. I'll never finish it, so I'll just say I'm in my second year of my PhD. Between you and me, don't tell York University in Toronto, but between you and me, I'm never going to finish it. I'm never going to go back there. Why would I? I'm making 10 times the amount doing SEO than I can being a professor of philosophy who don't make a lot of money. They make like 30 grand a year. I'm making like 10 times that. So nope, I'm not going back there. I'll just read philosophy on my spare time. But I've been studying the history of science, and one thing that they found that's proven that works is science. It works. It proves itself and builds on top of that. And look at the society we've built through science, right? So I took that method and put it in the SEO. So if you're not taking the empirical method and joining a grand unified theory program like my SEO University that is not just trying to prove this little ranking factor in isolation and that little ranking factor in isolation, I'm trying to prove all of the ranking factors together, right? I'm trying to prove a grand unified theory of SEO, and I have, and it works, and we rank by it. They still don't have a grand unified theory of physics. I have a grand unified theory of SEO for Google, because Google's reality is way less complicated than reality, right? Of course, I sectioned out a tiny little piece of it, and I was able to use my reason and my training, my scientific training in my master's degree and my PhD as well, in philosophy of science, included some science, and psychology as well. And I was able to reverse engineer that and build up a program. So join a robust program like mine, and I'm sorry, mine is the only one that I know of that is good enough. Yes, I am biased. I'm the one who runs it, but I am also harsh critic on myself. And if I'm not getting enough wins for my students, I start badgering them and say, hey, where are your rankings? Why are you not succeeding? Everyone must succeed. If you join my group, I'm going to be that boxing coach of yours who's going to make you do push-ups. I'm going to make you punch the bag until your arms are weak, and then you might be ready to fight Conor McGregor on Friday, right? So I'm going to be that guy in your corner, and that's who you need in your corner to be pushing you, right? So that's what you need. You cannot just assume that Google is looking for the most relevant and highest quality content. That doesn't even make sense from their perspective. And you need to figure out, you need to learn how artificial intelligences work in general and how their artificial intelligence works in particular to be able to even know what that means. So some bad news for writers of serious content. You're not SEOs. SEO is a specific task. SEO is separate to writing. If you want to be both, by all means, be both. But I'll tell you right now, I've had a lawyer join. I've had many lawyers join, and many lawyers are still part of the group. But I had one lawyer join who was a client of mine for some time, and he's like, I want to do it myself. I don't want to pay you anymore. I'm like, okay, fine, do it, join. Being my student is way cheaper than being my client. So I said, fine, go ahead. And he tried learning for about a month, and a lawyer who's quite intelligent said, this is too complicated. SEO is a full-time job. I don't have the time to be an SEO and a lawyer at the same time. The learning curve is too high, and it's just too many hours per day that I need to be doing SEO, learning it and doing it. And if that's, of course, that would go down after you get through our basic curriculum. Then the learning load goes way down to like an hour a week of a meeting, of keeping up to date, where I have a weekly meeting on Mondays, the weekly test meeting where I show what we've come up with recently. And that would come down to that. So it's, at first there's a learning curve and a huge amount of your time you got to invest and read, and you have to do stuff. You have to learn stuff. Newsflash: you want a career, you're going to have to learn stuff. A specialized career in a technical nature, you're going to have to get a certification, right? You're going to have to go learn stuff. So that's why I call it SEO University instead of Josh's testing group. It's night and day difference what I do compared to what other people are doing. They're just testing individual things, and they don't have a grand unified theory, and they don't do it in university format. And they don't update either on a regular basis. They don't iterate either. Anyway, that's the kind of group that you would need. So writers and SEOs are different. So I hope that might be an incredibly longer answer than you're looking for, and maybe even a slightly more negative answer than you were looking for. Maybe you're just looking for like a, yep, you're good, buddy. Sorry, you're not. I'm the guy who's here to tell you the truth. I tell the truth even when it gets me in trouble. I'm that guy. I have a conscience. It just bothers me just to not tell the truth. I'm that dude. So I'm sorry, my friend. There you go. But at least I'm your friend in that I'm telling you the truth. And I have a solution for you. Join SEO University. Try it for a month. What have you got to lose? Try it for a month. A month is $300. Whoopee woo. When you join, if you don't have $300, get out of SEO right now because you need money to play. So it's not a free field. So you need money to play. Just get out right now. And then when you join and realize $300 is nothing compared to the knowledge that I can offer you, people have made literally millions of dollars based on what I've taught them. Literally, I have the videos to prove it. I have the test results to prove it. I have students in there to prove it. If you don't think that the content is great, then F off, then leave. Fine. I mean, I've got 100 students right now. I don't need any more necessarily. If you don't think it's wonderful, then you can leave. But it is wonderful. And it'll do everything you need it to do. Kimberly says, and do you think HTTP versus HTTPS makes a difference now? So Kimberly, thank you for the question. So again, I have two answers, a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is not really. Not really at all. If you were what the AI thought were the best answer, they'd rank you whether it's HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. It doesn't matter on the transfer protocol. They'll rank you, right, if they think you're the best answer. However, my longer answer is, again, Kimberly, my friend, you're asking the wrong question. That's like a way down here question. It's like, don't even bother asking me, right? Like it's like asking if you had cancer and you're on a Zoom with a doctor and you asked, if I went for a 3-second walk, would that help cancer? It's like, no, like maybe slightly, the tiniest bit. Go to a hospital. You need help. This is a serious thing you need to learn and deal with for SEO for 2022. You need to do a lot more, man. You need to go do a whole new thing, you need to go to SEO University and learn SEO. Like it's it's like asking me as a martial arts instructor. I have 3 black belts as well, and I used to teach martial arts before COVID ruined all my fun. And it's like asking, if 10 guys attack me and I tie my one shoe before the fight, will that help? A tiny amount, yes, but there's a whole other thing. I need to show you how to disarm knives. And you're like, wow, it's like so crazy. I'm sorry I'm being so like crazy, but that's such a crazy thing. What you've asked is like Kimberly, my friend, trust me, you need to take on, anyone who wants to do SEO, you need to take it on as a full-time job. At least for the next few months. You need to take it on as a full-time job. That's the way that it is. That's what Google has made it. You cannot do that and be a part-time podcaster and raise kids and also have a band on the side. You don't have the hours in the day unless you don't sleep. And that's not healthy, so don't do that. Sam says, do you have any discount code for your courses? Yes, I do. Email me yes in the subject field to joshbachynski@gmail.com. Email me yes in the subject field, and I will give you the discount starting the first month and every month thereafter. There'll be a discount for you if you join up and say yes in the email field. Then I'll know you're one of my listeners, and that's who the discount is for. Darian says, what up, Josh? Hey, Darian. How you doing, man? Kimberly says, lately it's been taking quite a while for Google to see my backlinks. Anything new going on? Yes. They're machine learning everything. One, stop. Are you buying these backlinks? Don't do that for sure. Don't waste your money on that, something that's probably going to kill you. That's like paying money to get knives stabbed into you. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. Two, yeah, of course. That's their artificial intelligence. Looking at your links and going, nope, I'm not even going to index these. These are so worthless. The pages that are on and the links that are being made, I'm not even going to index them. If they're not indexed, of course, they're not counted. So, yeah, not what you want to be doing. Not what you want to be doing. You're going down the dark side. The dark path you are going down. That's not what you want to do. Total the wrong direction. So I've got news. I've got light for you. I've got the light at the end of the tunnel. Join SEO University, even for a month. Just for a month. Try it out. Please, for your sake, try it out, please. And see what we're about. See the kind of SEO we do. See the proof we have. I can prove it to you what the ranking factors are and therefore what you should be doing. Students have told me it's the best thing they've ever done. Students have told me it has changed their life. Students have told me they could not thank me more for what the group does for them. So you definitely want to join SEO University. Best case scenario. Middle case scenario is bone up on artificial intelligence and machine learning. For SEO for 2022, you need to be an AI master. You need to be able to explain all that machine learning stuff and how it's probably working in here and being used here, and mom is using it and doing stuff. You need to understand and explain any of it to anyone who asks at any moment. If you don't know that, your SEO is definitely going to be hurting you and be going astray. I can guarantee that if you don't know artificial intelligence, if you don't know machine learning, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, entities, and you don't know what's going on there with how mom does the stuff and Burt and Smith, the transformer NLPs do their stuff, you are definitely hurting your sites. It will come up to haunt you. It will eventually kill your site's ranking. It is only a matter of time. Please, 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 for your sake, join SEO University for a month. Try SEO University for a month, or at the very least, learn artificial intelligence and machine learning. Not from a programming perspective, but just like read everything you can about Google and how Google does it and that kind of a thing. If anybody else out there is explaining it, I don't really think anybody really is, because nobody's really tested it scientifically like I have, so no one else sadly really understands. It's a tough position for me to be in, to be the one to be like, you need to join a robust science group. Okay, list the robust science groups, Josh. Mine, sorry, that's it. I've looked at the other science groups and they suck. They're not science groups. It's laughable that they can even be listed under that name. They gave up on science a long time ago, I assure you. They're reselling courses from 5 years old. I assure you courses from 5 years ago are no longer relevant. You know they're no longer relevant, right? You know that. So, it sounds self-serving that I'm the only one, but I also told you can quit. I also told you to get out now and don't waste your life, money, or time. I've told you a whole bunch of things not to do. That's the best I can do for you. Sorry. Mr. Rubble says, thank you for your astute reply. It is my pleasure, Mr. Rubble. Kimberly says, okay, I'll try it. Great. I don't know what you're going to try, but hopefully it's one of the good things I mentioned. Okay, so let me show you that secret hack I promised I was going to show you. Let me show you first. Let me tantalize you. What if I told you I could boost your page within 2 hours like that? Think it's wrong? You're wrong. It's true. That didn't sound right. I can. We have a secret method we can use in SEO University that I sell both to my students and to people who are not my students. It's cheaper for my students. Another reason to join SEO University, you get discounts on SEO software, hacks, and special ways of boosting. But I sell it to both, so you don't have to join. You don't have to join SEO University if you want to try this hack out. It's going to be especially useful for Black Friday and for the holidays. Like, what if if you're looking at the SERP and you're on page 2, or you're like on spot 8 or 9. You're like, oh, I just wish I can get on the top 3 just for a few days, kind of a thing for Black Friday, or for just for a few days a week. I can do that. I can do that for you. 99% guaranteed. 99% guaranteed. We scientifically test it. And we're like, oh, we couldn't believe what we found, and we found it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Not even going to get close to tell you what it is. You can't say what it is, because then Google will be all over it. So you got to contact me. This is not for smaller sites. This is not for smaller businesses. This is for people who have money pages who can make money from it, because there's no point in me, spending the thousands of dollars to boost. It took one of my students developed it, who works in the casino niche. He showed it to me based on our methodologies and our philosophies and our theories, and then we saw how it really works. And he spent about $250,000 to get this system working. So it's not easy to reproduce or replicate. No one else out there has this. This is not what anyone else is doing. This is not what anyone else groups are doing. I need to know about your server. I need to know things about your server. Are you on Apache? Are you on IIS? Server configuration things. I need to know stuff like that. And then once I know that, I need to have access to your Google Analytics. Once I know that and I can do some stuff, I can boost you in 2 hours. Don't believe me? Here, take a look. So I should be, here we go. So here's an effect of what it'll do. It'll take like a position 10 or 9 or 10, and it'll suddenly boost it to like a 1 or 2. And it'll be faster than this. This is just an example of a line graph of how it'll kind of work. It'll take this to here and go boom to here. And it can stay for a number of days. It doesn't always stay for days. It can stay for days. If we take a look here, this is a client I did this to very recently. As you can see, this was only 5 days ago. October 25th is when I did it. And I told them, okay, it's set to run 2 p.m. Eastern time, which was just 9 minutes off of that mark because I'm in Pacific time. So Eastern time, that was just 2 hours difference. So it started in 9 minutes. He said, okay, when we set our process to run. And then look at that. In 1.75 hours later, 1 3/4 hours later, he was number 2 in only 2 hours. So that's how fast it works. He was like 8 or 9, and then he was number 2 for 2 hours. And I also know the scientific reason why he's not number 1. I could fix that too if I needed to. But this is not that process. This is a different thing entirely. This is a different ball game of ranking entirely, a whole different gestalt of ranking that has nothing to do with any of the other gestalts. Google is always finding new ways to boost pages. And this was a totally new way that we stumbled across, and we're like, no one else knows about it. I'm not going to tell anybody any details about it. The students get to know about it. Clients, I'll just be like, okay, what do you want to boost? Okay, when do you want me to start? And it's for a month. You pay for a month of these boosts, and then every time it goes down, up to once a week, we try to reboost you. So it's semi-permanent. As you can see for this guy here, let me go back to the screen share. So you can see for this client here, up to October 26th, next day, he was still number 2. And if I search here, if I go here and look here, you can see he's still number 2 here. So this is now the 30th. This is 5 days later. He's still number 2. So that is the power of the boost. Don't expect bargain basement pricing for this. Don't expect, this is for serious pages that will make money. So if your sales page is going to make money, or for other scenarios, it could be used for reputation management. If you want to make a certain page go up, we can do that to start getting into the mix of bad pages. Maybe if people still do that, I don't know. But it's mostly like you would use this for sales. I wouldn't boost like a blog page about whether Conan the Barbarian is a better hero than Kull the Conqueror from Robert E. Howard's Pulp Fiction of the 1930s. That's not making me money. Why would we spend thousands of dollars to do that? Like that doesn't make any sense. So this is for pages that you're going to get leads, you're going to make money on. And even if it's to save your hide with a client, like you need to show them, you need to show off or something like that, sure, you could do it for that reason. You could boost a non-sales page for that reason. You can boost whatever page you want. I don't care at the end of the day, but really, I want you to succeed and make money off of this. And again, it's not like a few $100 thing. It's a few $1,000 thing, right? So we can do that for you. First come, first serve. There are limited spots. And so, yeah, so as promised, a crazy hack that no one else knows, and I could rank a page for you in 2 hours. I can rank a page for you doing multiple things in 2 hours. This is this one. This is this way of doing it, which is kind of like icing on the cake. It doesn't make sense to do it on a page that's like spot 100. So it'll go to spot 30. Great. It's still not getting you anything, and it's only temporary. So this is for pages that are just within reach, and if you want to get some of that money. And think about what it would cost you to do an AdWords, right? So think about to do an AdWords, and this is not just boosting you for one keyword. This is boosting you for a spread of keywords, right? This is boosting you for all of your keywords that page could possibly rank for. Think about what it would cost in AdWords to buy AdWords for like 50 different queries or up to, 20 different queries. That could cost anywhere from 15 to 30 grand a month, depending, even more possibly. So it's less than that. I'll charge you less than that, but it is prorated. So contact me. This is for serious inquiries only. Please don't just email me like, This is for people who are serious about it, who have money in hand. It works now, and I'm only letting people who are serious do it. I'm not just going to boost any page, because the more we do it, the more chance that Google might notice or could find out, or that people will blab. So I don't want people blabbing either. So none of that. No blabbing. I'm not going to tell you very much about it unless you're part of SEO University, and then I'll tell you the science behind it. Yeah, but I have it. It can work. It can be done. Does anyone have any questions about it that they want to ask for SEO in 2022? Kimberly says, in a previous video, you told me they wouldn't bring the fetch tool back. They did. That's a good point. You got me there. That's a good point. But that's only because SEOs complain so much. And you'll notice that I'm partly correct, partly wrong. They did not bring the fetch tool back for unlimited fetches. They brought it back for up to 10 fetches, and that's it, last time I tested it. I don't even use the fetch tool anymore for my testing. So, yeah. Kimberly says, I will try SEO University. That's a good choice, Kimberly. Email me, joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Within the subject, just put yes, so I know it's from you. And that's a discount for SEO University for all of my listeners and watchers. And as well, there'll be a discount for the special hack. I'll need to ask you about your server and do some server things. But otherwise, it works like gangbusters. So if you want to suddenly make sales and you don't want to pay AdWord prices, email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com and ask for the secret hack at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. And of course, my students get a discount on that. So if you're a student, if you're thinking of joining, it might be a good idea because you get a discount on that as well. And you get to learn some information about how that works. All right, guys. Well, then that's it for me for SEO 2022. Learn your AI, learn your artificial intelligence, learn your machine learning, learn your entities, learn what that means. Play around, a little bit with it. And when you're serious about being an SEO and serious of doing that for a career, go to university for it. Join SEO University, even for a month. Try SEO University for a month. What have you got to lose? It'll be less than $300 if you email me with yes in the subject line for your discount. And I'll maintain that discount for month to month to month, even after that. So it's in perpetuity, that discount. As long as you are still a student, when you quit, the discount goes away. If you join again, then it'll be full price. So it pays to stay in the information flow because I'm always updating our experiments on a weekly basis anyway. So you'll be on the bleeding edge. You'll be up to date. Everyone else will be hit. You won't be. You'll see, I can prove that to you. Look to bit.ly/SEO proof, and you'll see how we don't get drops every month. We still have wins every month, unlike all the other SEO groups out there. We're complaining about the SEO Armageddon. Well, if you want to survive the SEO Armageddon in SEO, for SEO in 2022, you've got to know your artificial intelligence. All right, guys, thanks very much. If you have any questions, please email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Any SEO questions at all, a quick little 5-minute SEO question, I have no problem talking about it. Email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Email me with the subject line yes for your discount when you join SEO University to try it out for a month. Try SEO University for a month by emailing joshbashinsky@gmail.com with the subject yes in the subject line. And if you want to know just about the secret hack, email me also at joshbashinsky@gmail.com about the secret hack. All right, guys, it won't be around forever. So if you want to get those boosts, you want to make that money, son, you better email me soon. So thanks for paying attention, guys, and have a good holiday season. And we'll see you in the early 2022